Morning, tribe family. It's a fantastic day here in sunny Gold Coast, Australia. Yeah. Now that the intro is done, let's talk about something much more deep and meaningful, because that's what I fucking love. And if you are liking or loving what I'm talking about, I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear anything that's going on with your life. If you want to share your insights, I am here. If not, that's absolutely okay too. But I want to talk about, I was dropping in this morning and I asked my guides what am I going to talk about today, and they said how to discover the essence of yourself. The essence of you. It's a fucking big question, isn't it, when you think about that? Like, who is your essence? Questions such like, who are you? What do you like to do? What do you enjoy in your downtime? What do you want in life? Where are you going? These questions are so fucking deep. I love them. And there's no real wrong or right answer. I guess the biggest question is being able to provide the opportunity to ask these questions, which, let's be honest, we don't really do that, do we? Because we're really busy trying to keep up the status quo. We've got jobs to pay, jobs to fucking earn money from. We've got children to look after. We've got a family to feed. We've got life as we know it all happening around us. And to be honest, do we have time to ask these questions? In your head? Probably not. In your life, in your soul? Yes. We don't allow that though, because most of the time, subconsciously, thoughts such as, what would I do with it anyway? I've got so many responsibilities. I don't have that option to really spread my wings even if I wanted to. There's so many limiting thoughts subconsciously that can hinder this process. And I'm here to tell you that that is not the truth. That is your ego, that is your mind, that is a construct of a belief system that you've decided, is ultimately the truth. But if I was to ask you right now that if you have so much responsibilities that you don't have the ability to ask yourself these questions because of these constructs, would you say it is true, or would you say it is false? And I'm talking hands on your heart here, and I can guarantee, unless you got really stubborn, and that's okay, because that's just another wall we need to break down and get through, is that it's not the truth, that you do have the opportunity to honor yourself and to find out the true essence of who you are. The question is, how do you do that? And I've always been quite an inquisitive person. I didn't really ever settle for anything less than what I really wanted, because ultimately, I don't know why, I just was destined to push boundaries, and I actually really liked that. But, fortunately for me, that becomes quite easy. But if for someone who may have a really strong, and don't get me wrong, I had a strong belief construct about, growing up and having a house and having kids and all those things that, I ultimately had to break through myself anyway. But let's say, you're a person that struggles. Maybe you're getting paid a fuck ton of money. That's hard to break from. Maybe your construct of what is feasible and what isn't feasible is so strong that, even the option of talking right now about it is a disbelief and potentially shut down, see you later, not here anymore, which is totally fine as well. But let's say that the option to break down these constructs and go, how do I discover my true essence and who I am? It's by trying new things would be the first thing that I would say. The first thing that I would say is understanding yourself. I remember so many times I said to my partner, Beanie Tompkins, I said to her, oh my God, if you're doing that voodoo shit on me, I'm fucking out of here. That was the first thing I said, probably about 10 years ago. Now, fast forward, I've gone, give me the fucking voodoo stuff 5 times over and more, please. I also said to her, don't, if you're a vegetarian, babe, I don't know if I could handle that. 4 years in, flying a plant-based flag, the only way I've discovered the essence of who I am and what is available to me is trying new stuff, is stepping outside my comfort zone, is broadening my mind. I'm sure you're very familiar with, if we turn to our older generation, such as my parents, they're, born in the 1940s, 1930s, we've got to appreciate where they've come from. What we're transitioning now through on Earth is a phenomenal time. Phenomenal. This has never been done whilst there's been human existence, and the amount of connection and energy that is getting transmuted down here on Earth from the universe is phenomenal. And they never had that accessible to them. Things were a lot more dense. They had a lot more density. Unfortunately for us, as the evolution of Aquarius rises and things start to change, the energy that is available to us and being able to transmute a lot of these dark energies, be it shadows or your past, these can now prevail, which is absolutely phenomenal for us. It's fucking a win-win chicken dinner. Not that I'm gonna have chicken for dinner, but you understand what I'm saying. It's very positive. So going back to how you discover your essence of yourself is that you start allowing space for yourself to entertain the idea that you're more than what you are right now. You are more than what you are right now. You are more than what you are right now. And so if you are more than what you are right now, what would that more look like? What would you like to do? What would you like to entertain as an idea so that you can start experiencing a more expansive version of yourself? What would it look like? Would it look like you would get a motorbike license? Would it look like that you would go on a trip overseas on your own? Would it look like going shopping and wearing some really fucking crazy ass outfits? Would it look like going for a skinny dip? What would it look like for you to entertain the idea that you're much more than what your body is right now? Would it mean, what it would mean is the possibility of you understanding that these options are bringing a more expansive person forward in your life, and you start to understand your core essence. And your core essence is your divinity. It is your light. It is your sparkle. It is why you're here. It is all that. It's the power of you, because of the essence you're now discovering and to be shared with the world. So it sounds pretty fucking crazy when you think about it, but this process itself is actually really revolutionary in terms of allowing that space for yourself, and to see that each step that you take, things start popping along your way and you start seeing more of who you are. And that may also mean that you might start saying no more rather than yes, particularly if you're in a mother situation or a family situation. Mums tend to be very obliging and not really put up their boundaries because they feel as though, without their family, or without them being the cornerstone of the family, that the family's fucked. Well, I hate to be a bearer of bad news. They're not going to be fucked. They might be different, but they're not going to be fucked, because they all have their own divinity, their own path to run. We as a mum, but essence of mums is they tend to take on that role that they have to be that person so that everyone is okay, and then lose a bit of that control, which ultimately is absolutely perfect if you lose a little bit of that control, because you have more space for yourself. You have more space of understanding who you are. You get to decide, maybe I want to go to an art class, because you start putting your priorities first before your children and before your husband. And that's okay. I am telling you 100%, putting yourself first before your children and your husband is absolutely a-okay. In fact, I endorse it. Not because I'm not not a mum, and you may think that I have no idea, because you're also teaching them what priorities and healthy boundaries and love looks like for someone. What it looks like for someone who has love for themselves and what they want in their life and how they want to be. If you want to go back to work and making those decisions that are for you, you're exhibiting love that educates them and inspires them to know more of what they can be in their lifetime. It's not that you're a bad person. It's not that you should be doing more. In fact, you should be doing more for yourself rather than putting that focus on your external parts, which is your kids and your husband, which ultimately you have no control over, because they will live the path and their life the way they want, however they want, because it's already been predetermined. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. I went on a bit of a tangent now, but anyway, that's for the mum segment, and that was about 2 minutes. Sorry about that. But going back to the essence of yourself. So you start trying new things. You start entertaining the idea that you're much more than this body. And therefore you become more expansive. The more you put into allowing space for yourself, the more you allow new things to come to you and new things pop for you. You might start doing some meditation, which I highly fucking recommend, but you might start doing it 10 minutes. That might be something different and new for you. I absolutely can guarantee you start putting yourself into new environments, you will start to understand the essence, and from there, everything just starts becoming magical. Obviously, life isn't without its traversity. I don't know if that's a word, but I'm making it up right now. But I do know through all the hills that I have gone through, and particularly with the business and the challenges that I've faced and the obstacles that I've overcome and the learnings and the ability to keep getting outside my comfort zone, I always keep glowing up. I always keep turning into this motherfucking angel of love, and that sets me more and more free. I just want that for everyone, because wholeheartedly on my fucking heart, every single person in this world is a fucking divine, human, graceful, loving, angelic species of a mankind, and we are here to shine like you've never fucking thought possible. And if that's not a power talk, then I don't know what is. I fucking love you. If you like what you're hearing, you know where I'm at. Like my channel. Bye for now.